All right, let's dive right in. We're going to be talking about a system that's designed to tackle one of the most chaotic, but also most critical parts of any NGO, their field operations. Yeah, I'm talking about that constant flood of phone calls and messages that can really make or break your mission. Just think about that for a second. What if that daily storm of communication, the stuff that's usually a huge source of stress, actually became a clean, organized, and totally auditable stream of data? That's the big idea we're going to unpack today. For so many nonprofits and NGOs, the day-to-day reality on the ground, it's a mix of incredible passion, yeah, but also immense pressure and a lot of just making it up as you go. So let's take a look at what that really means in practice. Does any of this look familiar to you? I bet it does. You've got teams using their personal WhatsApp, critical data is scattered across a million different Excel sheets, and all the while, you've got that constant looming pressure for donor reports and audits. Oh, and you're trying to do all this in places with bad internet, handling really sensitive data. It's the perfect storm for operational chaos. And for so many organizations, that's just the daily grind. So the temptation is to just grab some tech tool off the shelf and hope for the best. But here's the thing. Most of those tools just fail. They assume you have this big IT department, and they often want to store your sensitive data on their servers, which for compliance reasons is a total non-starter. They're just not built for the unique pressures of the NGO world. And that's why this calls for a totally different way of thinking. We're not talking about just adding another app to the pile. No. We're talking about putting in place an entire operational system, one that was built from the ground up to solve these very specific problems. And that, right there, brings us to the Eagle AI framework. This is a purpose-built system, not some generic software. And here's the key. It's designed to plug right into how NGOs actually work, instead of forcing you to completely change your process just to fit the software. Now, you really gotta pay attention to the words on this slide. Notice it says operational system, not just a tool. It says private, which means your data always stays your data. And maybe the most important part, deployed within their own infrastructure. For any organization that handles sensitive info and faces strict audits, that is an absolute game changer. Okay, so let's get into the heart of it. How does this whole thing actually work? Well, it starts by taking the biggest sources of chaos, all those voice calls and WhatsApp messages, and turning them into structured, powerful assets for your operation. And this, right here, just lays out the transformation perfectly. On the left, you've got the chaos we all know. Messy, ad hoc WhatsApp groups, missed calls, endless manual data entry, and absolutely no audit trail to speak of. Then you look at the right, a structured, automated system where every single interaction is captured and logged, creating that single source of truth everyone's always talking about. So how does it pull this off? Well, with AI agents that work over WhatsApp and regular voice calls, and they can even understand local languages. They handle all the initial requests and complaints automatically 24/7. But, and this is so important, the system is smart enough to know its own limits. It can handle all the routine stuff, but the second a complex or sensitive issue comes up, it instantly escalates it to a human team member. And it does all of this while plugging right into your existing databases. And that's really the ultimate goal, isn't it? It's not just about being a little more efficient. It's about building a reliable, centralized record of every single interaction. This is what creates transparency, it's what builds trust, and as we're about to see, it makes compliance and audits infinitely easier. So that single source of truth we just mentioned, it leads directly to solving one of the biggest headaches for any NGO, being ready for an audit at a moment's notice. And the process is just so beautifully straightforward, because it's completely automated. A beneficiary gets in touch through a call or a text, the AI captures the whole conversation securely. That data then gets structured and saved right into your main operation system, your ERP. And what's the result? A perfect, complete, auditable trail, ready to go instantly. No more panicked last-minute digging through old emails and spreadsheets. So the takeaway here is this. You go from having dozens of scattered, messy sources of information to just one single, reliable, verifiable source of truth that's going to satisfy your donors, your auditors, and of course, your own internal teams. And listen, this isn't just a theory. Look at how this is being used in the real world. You've got a WhatsApp bot answering eligibility questions around the clock. You have a field worker in a super remote area who can report an incident just by leaving a quick voice message. Or think about a fully compliant grievance hotline that logs every single complaint automatically. This is where the rubber really meets the road.
Now, what's so powerful about all this is that the communication piece, it's just the entry point. It's really the foundation of a much bigger operational framework that can literally touch every single part of an NGO's work.
That same core technology can be used to run surveys over voice and WhatsApp for real-time feedback. It can deliver training programs to your remote staff. It can automate internal workflows, like, say, grant approvals. It can even add these AI smarts to your existing systems without you having to rip and replace everything.
So it's so important to remember this isn't about using AI just because it's the new, shiny thing. Not at all. It's about using it to solve these fundamental operational challenges, to build an organization that is more resilient, more accountable, and can scale its impact more effectively. It's really about changing the conversation from justifying your spending to demonstrating real-time, verifiable impact.
This really represents a fundamental shift, moving away from that manual, fragmented chaos and toward integrated, intelligent operations. So I guess the only question left is, what more could your organization achieve if you had that kind of power and that kind of clarity?